Yo, good evening, USA, International, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, YouTuber, host with the most, missing the still lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, Queens, New York native, who is also a New York Mets fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And you are now rocking, listening, streaming, and watching the 134th episode of the Entertainment Review Show, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, live and direct from StreamYard and YouTube. And be sure to hit that subscribe button on the channel and leave a like and a comment along with the episodes and the topics being reviewed in TV, music, movies, even video game news and stuff that you want me to talk about or whatever. Just let me know in the comments and stuff. Um all right, and yes, I am recording this episode today instead of tomorrow because I want to save 135 for tomorrow at 6 p.m. because I want to be able to have enough episodes to drop um for tomorrow. So hopefully the last episode of 2024 can be around 2 hours and stuff. So we'll see. Yeah. And I do apologize. I had to rush to get some dinner because I had to rush to get some dinner and stuff. So that's why I had to end the last episode. So I couldn't get to the video game. I couldn't get to the video game segment. So I have to actually make sure that I covered that too. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get to the video game news in a couple minutes. So um without further ado, what do you say? Hang on one second. What do you say we go to um what do you say we go to the music Kool-Aid section? All right. Um just a second. All right. All right. Let me set this up real quick. Um Let me set this up real quick actually. Um but other than that, man, how y'all feeling, man? I mean, did y'all enjoy your Christmas? Are y'all ready for 2025? I'm pretty sure many of you out there, including myself, is ready. Um, but I don't think it's any well, I don't think I'm gonna be doing any New Year's resolutions, so I'm not even gonna go into that. So it's not really my thing. I can't say it's my thing because, you know, making a New Year's resolutions is almost like you're making a promise to yourself. And that's something I can't really commit to. So I just want to put it out there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is, man. It is a lot of pressure into making a resolution every year, but not a lot of people keep up with it. You know, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, so yeah. And okay, so we're gonna get into it right here. So this is yes. So today's episode, okay. So we're gonna actually go over some stuff actually. Um okay, so let's go into some music Kool-Aids, the music Kool-Aid section, and involving, let me just find that particular article story. Let me just find it. So hold on a second. All right. Okay. Okay. So all right. So, oh brother, you gotta be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Every freaking time, man. Every freaking time that I have to really deal with um Jimmy Page is not found. Okay, Tiger is coming out with a new album. Okay. Okay, so let me just find. Okay. Okay, so all right, here we go. Musical aid for this segment is about Tyga. The rap, according to Hot New Hip Hop, the rapper's first album in 6 years. Damn, Tyga Tyga was sneakily one of hip hop's most reliable hit makers in the 2010s. He dropped a smash single every couple of years and bagged a trio of crossover top 10 hits in the process. It's been a long time since Tiger has released a full body of work. However, the rapper hasn't dropped a solo album since Legendary in 2019. That was what that was like what 19, 20, 21, 22, 5 years ago. Yeah, the rapper hasn't dropped a solo album since Legendary in 2019, which contained Taste. There were rumors of Tiger working on something, but December 19th yielded proof. The rapper unveiled the album cover, title, and release date for his upcoming album. Tiger uploaded the artwork for the album on Instagram Thursday morning. It sees the rapper looking into the distance while two women wait for him in bed. Oh man, the title supports this lewd aesthetic, not suitable for work of S no hold on of NSFW. Tiger has always thrived when it comes to making NSFW anthems like Make It Nasty or the aforementioned Taste. So the new branding makes complete sense. Tiger re- Tiger released pre-order links for the album, which is scheduled for release on January 31st. This means there'll be a staggering 6 year gap between Tiger's solo albums. Hmm. Okay. Sounds pretty good. All right. So Tiger had given plenty of indicators of a new album in the last few months. The rapper dropped promo singles like Bops Going Brazy in 2023 and Sensei in 2024. He also hyped up the prospect of music during a recent interview with Rolling Loud. New album. He revealed when asked his plans for 2025. I'm mixing it right now. So album tour. Tiger was hesitant to reveal any more info about the album, but he did confirm that he'll have some notable collaborators. We just got to see the rapper remark. Working on a few features, the rapper may not have been dropping new solo music, but he has continued to pop up on other people's songs. Tiger just Tiger dropped a guest verse on the breakout Tinashe Smash Nasty in July. The singer told People magazine that Tiger was the perfect artist to get on the single, given its NSFW topic. Tiger has a legacy of making nasty bops, Tinashe explained. He has a history of nasty related themes, so I felt like he was perfect and fit that West Coast vibe in that sense. Hopefully, he can continue his legacy and give fans a few more hits in the new year. All right, I see. I see. I see. So we're gonna get into. All right. So today, so we're gonna be talking about the Star Wars TV series, The Mandalorian, and the recent new one, Skeleton Crew. Let's see. Yeah, and we're gonna get into some TV show checkouts, man, regarding the new TV series of not only not only the Skeleton Crew but the Mandalorian. We're gonna go over the Mandalorian right now in this segment right here. All right. So we're gonna go over the Mandalorian first, and then we'll get to the recent new one, Skeleton Crew. So we'll go over that next. Anyway, so The Mandalorian is an American space western television series created by John Favreau for the streaming service Disney Plus. It is the first live action series in the Star Wars franchise and begins 5 years after the events of the film Return of the Jedi, 1983. It follows a lone bounty hunter who protects a force-sensitive child Grogu from remnant remnant Imperial forces, and of course, it's voiced by Pedro Pascal and Katie Sackhoff, and it did three seasons, and from November 12th, 2019 to April 19th, 2023. Okay, so Pedro Pascal stars as the title character with Katie Sackhoff co-starring in the third season. Star Wars creator George Lucas had begun developing a live-action Star Wars television series by 2009, but it was deemed too expensive to produce. He sold Lucasfilm to Disney in October 2012, which he shouldn't have done. He shouldn't have done that though, man. The way the people at Disney is actually operating, they're making a big mess. Um, and work on a new Star Wars series began for Disney Plus. Favreau signed on as writer and showrunner in March 2018. He executive produces alongside Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, and Colin Wilson, Rick um Rick Famu Yiwa joined them for the third season. The title was announced in October 2018 when filming started at Manhattan Beach Studios in California. Visual effects I need visual effects company Industrial Light and Magic developed the stagecraft technology for the series, displaying digital backgrounds on a 360-degree video call. This has since been adopted by other film and television productions. The Mandalorian premiered with the launch of Disney Plus on November 12th, 2019. The rest of the first season was released through December 27th. A second season was released from October to December 2020, and a third season was released from March to April 2023. The series has received largely positive reviews from critics and several accolades, including Prime Time Creative Arts, Emmy Award wins for all three seasons. A feature film, The Mandalorian and Grogu, is being directed by Favreau and is scheduled for release in May 2026. A fourth season of the series had been in development, but it is unclear if it will proceed following the announcement of the film. Interconnected spin-off series Book of Boba Fett, um, Ahsoka, and Skeleton Crew expand on the Mandalorian's time frame with an untitled feature film directed by Filoni to serve as a conclusion to the interconnected stories. All right, so yeah, I think yeah. So the premise is beginning 5 years after the events of the film Return of the Jedi and the fall of the Galactic Empire. The Mandalorian follows Din Djarin, a lone Mandalorian bounty hunter working in the outer reaches of the galaxy. He is hired by Imperial remnant forces to retrieve the child Grogu, but instead goes on the run to protect the infant. While looking to reunite Grogu with his kind, they are pursued by former Imperial commander Moff Gideon, who wants to exploit Grogu's connection to the Force. The duo then travel to Mandalore so the Djarin can redeem himself for the transgression of removing his helmet. Okay. All right. So I'm not even gonna. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go into. I'm not even gonna go into that. All right. So let's go to the receptions. The reception. Um, According to Nielsen, The Mandalorian's first season amassed 5.42 billion minutes of viewing time during its 7-week run, topping at 1.15 billion minutes during the week its finale premiered. It added 800 million more minutes the week after its finale. According to Nielsen, the second season most watched streaming television in the US from December 14th to December 20th, with 1.336 billion minutes of viewing time. It also ranked at the 14th place on Nielsen's list of most watched streaming television shows and movies of 2020, with 14.5 billion minutes watched during the year. The show became the first non Netflix show that landed at number one on Nielsen's streaming make excuse me streaming ranker. According to Samba TV, the show's second season drew 1.04 million households. The Hollywood Reporter reported that The Mandalorian lead Disney Plus's live action series with the majority minutes 8.4 billion came from the 8 weeks the second season debuted. So, of course, critical response for Rotten Tomatoes, season one of The Mandalorian, 93%, 338 reviews. Metacritic, 70, 29 reviews. Season two, 93%, 451 reviews. Metacritic, 76, 14 reviews. Season three, on Rotten Tomatoes, 85%, 240 reviews. Metacritic, 70 and 14 reviews. Yes, so for the first season, the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes reported a 93% approval rating with an average rating of 8 out of 10 based on 338 reviews. The website's critical consensus reads action packed and expertly crafted, if at times a bit too withholding. The Mandalorian is a welcome addition to the Star Wars universe that benefits greatly from the cuteness of its cargo. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned a score of 70 out of 100 for the season, based on reviews from 29 critics indicating generally favorable reviews. For the second season, Rotten Tomatoes reported a 93% approval rating with an average score of 8.5 out of 10. Based on 451 reviews, the site's critical consensus reads, with fan favorites and fresh faces galore both in front of and behind the camera. The Mandalorian's sophomore season solidifies its place as one of Star Wars's most engaging and exciting sagas. Metacritic assigned a score of 76 out of 100 based on 14 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. For the third season, Rotten Tomatoes has reported an 85% approval rating with an average score of 7.55 out of 10 based on 240 reviews. The site's critical consensus reads, in quote, mileage may vary by a couple parsecs as The Mandalorian becomes more and more about the connective tissue of broader Star Wars lore. But this remains one of the most engaging adventures in a galaxy far, far away. Metacritic has assigned a score of 70 out of 100 based on 14 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. Now we go to the accolades. The Mandalorian has been nominated for 6 Primetime Emmy Awards and 42 Primetime Creative Arts Emmy Awards, winning 15 Creative Arts Emmys, as well as 1 British Academy Television Award, 1 Critics Choice Award, 1 Critics Choice Television Award, 1 Directors Guild of America Award, one global, excuse me, 1 Golden Globe Award, 7 Hollywood Critics Association TV Awards, and 4 Hollywood Critics Association Creative Arts TV Awards, winning 3 Hugo Awards, 3 MTV Movie and TV Awards, 1 Producers Guild of America Award, 2 TCA Awards, 19 Visual Effects Society Awards, winning 5, and the Writers Guild of America Award, among others. Okay. The Mandalorian was the first production to be filmed using real-time rendering for realistic parallax environments. Favreau believed that the stagecraft technology developed for the series would have a significant impact on the production of films and television series moving forward. He attributed the breakthroughs made with the technology to the support of Kathleen Kennedy, who was in charge of both Lucasfilm and ILM, as well as to his drive for innovation and to previous work done by George Lucas on new technology for the Star Wars films. Favreau also acknowledged that much of the technology involved in stagecraft is not prior excuse me propri- proprietary and is readily available to others. It just had not been combined in this way before. Favreau invited the filmmakers and studios to visit the series set and see how the new technology was being used, noting that Lucas and other filmmakers such as James Cameron had done the same when they added the that working on the series new technologies including ILM, Epic, and MPC were being encouraged to share their work and develop the technology further beyond the requirements of the series. Several actors working on the series, including Carl Weathers and Giancarlo Esposito, gave high praise to the technology and the way it allowed them to act within the environment rather than pretend in front of a green screen. After learning lessons about the technology during the production of the first season of The Mandalorian. ILM was able to make several advancements beginning with the second season. This included transitioning stagecraft to a fully in-house product utilizing ILM's game engine, Helios, rather than Epic's Unreal Engine. In February 2020, ILM announced that it was making its stagecraft technology available to all filmmakers and production studios as a complete end-to-end solution. And that December, it was announced that three additional stagecraft volumes in Los Angeles, London, and Australia were being built. All right. All right, next we're gonna talk about the new recent one that recently just came out. It is called Skeleton Crew. All right. Star Wars Skeleton Crew is an American science fiction adventure television created by John Watts and Christopher Ford for the streaming service Disney Plus. It is part of the Star Wars franchise, taking place in the same time frame as the Mandalorian series and its interconnected spin-offs after the events of The Return of the Jedi, 1983. Skeleton Crew's Skeleton Crew tells a coming of age story about four children who make a discovery on their home planet, get lost in the galaxy and go on an adventure to get back home. All right, so voicing so who's voicing all this? So let's see. So we got Jude Law, Ravi Kab- Kabat Conyers, Ryan Kira Armstrong, Kariana Crater, Robert Timothy Smith, and Nick Frost. So far, it has 5 episodes of the first season, so that's not too bad. Let's see. Yeah, so Susan McNamara, John Bartnicki are the producers, and this is filmed in Los Angeles, California. Cinematography, Sean Porter, David Klein, Paul um, Hugan, and yeah. So there you go, Lucasfilms and Golem Creations. So there you go. All right, so Jude Law stars in the series with Ravi Kabat Conyers, Ryan Kiera Armstrong, Kariana Crater, Robert Timothy Smith, and Nick Frost. Watts approached Lucasfilm about telling an Amblin Entertainment style coming of age story set in the Star Wars universe. Um, and he was developing the series with Ford by early 2022. It was officially announced that May at Star Wars Celebration, with Law revealed to be starring. Filming began by September 2022 in Los Angeles and wrapped by late January 2023. The child actors in the series were revealed in April 2023. Kathleen Kennedy, John Favreau, and Dave Filoni returned from The Mandalorian as additional executive producers. So the premise is 9 years after the fall of the Galactic Empire, four children end up on an adventure to make their way home after being lost in the galaxy following a discovery that they make on their home planet at Aden while befriending a Force user. Now, okay, so as far as the characters and stuff, so let's see. Jude Law plays Jana Nawood, a Force user who allies with the children. Law described Jad as a quick thinker who uses his charm to get out of different scenarios. Ravi Kabat Conyers as Wim, who is a human boy from the planet at Adam. At eight, at eight, hold on, at 18. Okay. Ryan Kiara Strong as Fern, a human girl from the planet at Aten. Kariana Crater as KB, a human girl and friend of Fern from the planet at Aten, who wears a cybernetic visor connected to an implant on her head. Robert Timothy Smith as Neil, an elephant like alien boy who is Wim's friend from the planet at Aten. Casey Borerman serves as the performance artist for Neil. And Nick Frost as the voice of SM-33, the decrepit droid first mate of the Onyx Cinder. Rob Ramsdale serves as the performance artist for SM 33. So recurring co-stars Tundi Adi Bimp as Wendell, Wim's dad. Carrie Condon as Farah, Fern's mom, who works as a teacher and undersecretary on at Aten. Um, uh, Alias Shaw Cat as the voice of Kai Him, and unidentified owl, Otta like alien, and map expert with a testy alley ship with Jod. Hala Finley as Hana, a child soldier in the Troka clan on at what is it? What is it? At Akron. Okay, at Akron. Okay, got it. Matthew Kasovitz as General Strix, the leader of the Troka clan on at Akron and father of Hana. Kelly McDonald as Pocket, a freelance gun for hire and former partner of Jod's. And of course, other co-stars includes Fred Tatasciore as the voice of Brutus, a a shy a shy stavy a, a, wait is it hold on shy stavanin member of Jod's pirate crew who led a mutiny a mutiny oh no a mutiny against him against him and took over. Stephen O. Young serves as the performance artist for Brutus. Jaleel White, who is also a game show host for Flipside on the Game Show Network. Make sure you check that out too. As Gunter, a pirate. Dale Souls as uh, Child, a pirate. Marty Meticulous as Vane, a a Nikto pirate previously seen on the Mandalorian. Sisa Gray as Coma, a pirate. Dominic Burgess as Beef, a humanoid pirate of in indeterminate species. Paloma Garcia Lee as Melna, a woman on Port Borgo, who is concerned about the children's presence there. Alan Resnick as Toot Oriel, a pirate merchant on Port Bogo. Anthony Atamanuik as the voice of an unidentified fry cook on Port Borgo. David St. Pierre serves as the performance artist for the unidentified fry cook. John Gamberling, John Jamberling as the voice of a greasy pirate customer on Port Borgo. Dane DeLigro serves as the the performance artist for the greasy pirate customer. Alfred Molina as the voice of Benjar Pranic and Aishi Tib Pirate. Alexander Ward serves as the performance artist for Benjar Pranic. Julie Ann Emery as Hotelia, an employee of the spa and hotel on La Nupa. And Patrick Seitz as the voice of C. Talips, a large unidentified alien patron on Lanupa who helps Jod's group get Tak into into Tak Renard's hidden base. All right, so let's go over the music portion here. All right, so the music portion is this. So in November 2024, Mick um Giacchino was revealed to have composed the score for the series. His father, Michael Giacchino, previously composed the score for the Star Wars film Rogue One 2016, as well as Watts's Marvel Cinematic Universe Spider-Man films. Mick wanted the main theme for Skeleton Crew to capture that feeling of being a kid looking out at the twin suns and knowing that there's an adventure out there waiting for you. It consists of a simple chord sequence arranged for harps and synths to create his kind of whimsical floating feeling. Watts associated the opening four chords of the theme with the four main characters. The score was recorded at the Newman, the Newman scoring stage at the Fox Studio lot. Oh, wow. All right, let's take a look at the marketing. The first footage for the series was revealed at the Star Wars Celebration London in April 2023. The first official trailer and key art was released that August at Disney's D23 convention. The Skeleton Crew premiered on Disney Plus on December 2nd with its first two episodes. The other 6 episodes will be released from December 10th to January 14th, 2025. So it's on a hiatus. Okay, so 2023 premiere was announced at Star Wars Celebration in May 2022, with White expecting the series to be released in November or December of that year. By late 2023, Skeleton Crew was set to be released in 2024 with a United States Copyright Office filing for the first episode, indicating an approximate release in January. By July 2024, the series was set to premiere on December 3rd, 2024 of this year, before it was moved up a day in November to the December 2nd date. All right. Let's see. All right. So so let's go to the reception of viewership. TV Vision estimated that Skeleton Crew was the top streaming show from December 2nd to the 8th. In Canada, Just Watch calculated that the Skeleton Crew was the first, not the first, but the 6th most streamed show from December 8th. No, excuse me, December 2nd to the 8th, while Whip Media reported that Skeleton Crew was the 4th most streamed original series in the US for the week ending December 8th. TV Vision later announced that Skeleton Crew was the second most streamed from December 9th to the 15th. All right, now we go to the critical response. On the review aggregator website, Rotten Tomatoes, 90% of 100 critics reviews are positive with an average rating of 7.6 out of 10. The website's critic consensus reads in quote, evoking childlike wonder, Skeleton Crew is a swashbuckling Star Wars adventure that refreshingly keeps things simple. On Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, the series holds a score of 72 out of 100 based on 23 critics. indicating generally favorable reviews. Allison Herman of Variety wrote, Skeleton Crew takes Star Wars to new places on in the only in the literal sense. But the show is able to nail its limited brief and make a Star Wars show that's actually rooted in childhood rather than evoking memories of one's own. Daniel Feinberg of The Hollywood Reporter wrote, the generally low stakes, thematically light, young, skewing romp takes us into underexplored corners of the seemingly boundless galaxy while feeling pleasantly familiar. Kelly Lawler of USA Today wrote, what stands out most when watching the series is that it feels so very influenced. It's not just a Star Wars series, it's Star Wars plus something. It's gimmicky and not just a little cookie cutter in its expansion of the sci-fi franchise, which gets diluted the more shows Disney Plus cranks out. In a mixed review, Ben Travers of IndieWire wrote, Star Wars Skeleton Crew gets off to a depressingly familiar start while bungling the introduction of its primary protagonist and generally plodding along until Jude Law pops up. Zach Hanlon of the Boston Globe wrote, all of these assets are buried under one problem. This is a premise that doesn't know how to be a TV show yet. Well, look, I mean, look, man, there's some critics. Give me 1 second, folks. Hold on. My bad, folks. I had to go take care of some laundry related stuff to put upstairs. So my apologies for that actually. Um okay, what's next? What's next we could actually get? Yes. We're gonna get into a little something. We're gonna get into the video game chamber actually. So we're gonna get to hang on, we're gonna get to it right here, right now, actually. Um in a section that I like to call in this segment. Yes, the video game chamber. The video games chamber. All right, so this one is related to Sega. All right. Um and and why is that, you ask? You'll find out in the segment right here, video games chamber. All right. So just stick around. All right, let's get into what's going on with Sega. Um, all right, so recently, according to the Video Games Chronicle, Sega is looking into the possibility of launching a subscription service for video games. In an interview with the BBC, Sega president Shuji Shuji Atsumi said the Sonic Maker is weighing up on its own Netflix like subscription offering. Platform holders, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo each have their own game subscription services, as do some third party publishers like Electronic Arts and Ubisoft. Sega America and Europe CEO Atsumi told the BBC such subscription of services were very interesting, and that Sega was evaluating some opportunities. End quote. We're thinking something and discussing something we cannot disclose right now, he said. Sega is currently working on new entries in the Jet Set Radio, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Shinobi, Crazy Taxi, and Virtua Fighter series. In a separate interview, Atsumi told The Guardian that Sega isn't currently planning to release any more mini consoles. Um, I'm not going for the mini direction. It's not me, he said. I want to embrace modern gamers. We are not a retro company, Atsumi added. We really appreciate our legacy. We value it, but at the same time, we want to deliver something new. Otherwise, we'll become history. That's not what we're aiming for. Yeah, you know, yeah, you know what? It's pretty cool, man. You know what I'm saying? It is pretty cool, actually. So, let's see. Let's see. What else can we go on to? Let's see. What else? All right. I think we're gonna go into another story here. So, And this is from the same website, Video Games Chronicle. It's crazy to think that a series that was once such an important string in Xbox's bow has been allowed to sit on the sidelines for so long. Sit on the sidelines, it has. However, and assuming its 2025 release window is met when Fable is released, it'll be the first entirely new main entry in the series for 13 years, the last being Fable, The Journey, the Connect only Gubbins release on Xbox 360. If banning one of its most critically acclaimed franchises for more than a decade was a mistake, um, and general consensus agrees it was, then Microsoft appears to be doing what it can to make up for it. Putting the keys to the series in the hands of Playground Games may have seemed like an odd choice, but while the studio best known for the Forza Horizon games may not have had much previous association with the action RPG, it's certainly proved numerous times that it knows how to create a vast open world of real detail and beauty. After all, you only need to look at its fictional take on Mexico in Forza Horizon 5 to see how its sprawling fields and thick forests could easily translate over to an open world adventure game. What's currently less of a known quantity is how Playground will take the formula Fable fans loved back in the day. A formula that's now two generations old, remember, and bringing it to the modern era. It's already been confirmed that Eidos Montreal has been supporting the studio with development, and while its last game, Guardians of the Galaxy, may have been a commercial flop, it certainly wasn't a critical one, meaning players can take reassurance that at least some of the development team has had experience delivering a game with a strong narrative and entertaining, humorous dialogue. Um, the latter is something a Fable game absolutely needs, and recent retailers starring comedians A. Um, Richard Ayoade and Matt King showed that Xbox is leaning heavily, as it should be given the previous games on a British comedy vibe. Everyone at Microsoft and Playground are still remaining tight lipped on what the game's plot will entail. But one little tease was at least shared on the Xbox website following the first gameplay trailer in June, which confirmed that King, best known by some for playing Super Hans in the much loved sitcom Peep Show, will play Humphrey, who was once Albion's greatest hero, but those glory days are long gone. Xbox says that Humphrey will come out of retirement when a mysterious figure from his past threatens the very existence of Albion. Shots from the gameplay trailer also appear to suggest that Humphrey will accompany the player at times, though it's still unclear whether they'll only be in some cutscenes or as a actual on-screen companion during battle, nor it is known how much of the game he'll be around for. The fleeting glimpses of gameplay shown in the trailer also reveal that the fantasy towns will be wonderfully detailed and bustling with villagers, a good sign given that interaction with the townsfolk has always been one of the most entertaining aspects of the Fable series. Vague 2025 release dates always have us raising our eyebrows, and a game of this scope could yet be delayed. Case in point, Avowed. But if Playground and Eidos Montreal can deliver in time, we could be looking at one of 2025's very best. So, um, yeah, I can't believe they're still making the Borderlands games. Even the games in the movie itself was so fucking boring, man. You know what I mean? That game was so boring. Okay. All right. All right. All right. I think we're gonna wrap up right here, man. We're gonna wrap up right here. All right, we're gonna wrap up right here. And if there's anything else I didn't get a chance to cover, that I didn't get a chance to cover, I would try to cover whatever I can, um either in the next episode or of 2024 or in the new year of 2025. So yeah, and yes, I will be keeping track of the movie box office for Sonic the Hedgehog 3 um during um during the week. And if there's anything that came up as far as the results and stuff, hopefully it makes it through 300, 400, 500, because I actually read somewhere that it's supposed to be coming out on DVDs and stuff like that somewhere in February. I'm not too sure exactly, but I would have to look into it actually for you folks out there that's Sonic fans, all right? And also, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments in regards to the Skeleton Crew, the new Star Wars series. How do you feel about it, man? How do you feel about it though, man? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And also drop in the comments in regards to Sega, in regards to the Sega making a subscription, and of course Xbox trying to come up with some upcoming games for 2025 and stuff. So yeah. So very last thing we're gonna go into is stream choices on the go, man. Let's go. Yes. As I said in my previous episode, I made a Facebook page for Meticulous Values podcast. Make sure you go follow it, like, and I will be doing some postings over there, as well as threads. You can also follow Meticulous Values podcast on threads, alongside with my other podcast shows that I do, which is my sports edition show, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, which will be returning on January 5th. And of course, Off the Meat Rat Chains New York Avenue podcast. And myself, G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. It's also on Instagram as well. You can follow on Threads, you can follow on Instagram as well. The usernames are the same, so don't worry about any confusion whatsoever. And yes, um, and yes, um, and yes, Off the Meat Rat Chains New York Avenue podcast will be returning January 16th. And Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, the very last episode will be recorded tomorrow, and it will be returning around next week. So the week of January 5th is when it's going to be returning. So um and the reason I put that there is because I want to give everyone at home who is recovering from Christmas and recovering from New Year's and stuff. So you know what I'm saying? And if you plan on watching the ball drop, please make sure you take a jacket with you and stay warm and lay up, because you never know when the weather might be cold and stuff. So yeah. And also, if you go to the link in bio, where it says Linktree/Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. You're gonna see a whole list of streaming platforms. You can even download it to your phones, like iPhones, Android phones, iPads, Android tablets, laptops, including Apple and Dell laptop models. All right. Any model will count though, man. So there you go. All right. All right. And the Linktree link, you're gonna see Audible, Odyssey, Amazon Music, Breaker, Bullhorn FM, Castbox FM. These are Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Overhaul FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podfriend, Podhound, Podopolo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podvine, Snip, Spotify for creators, um, and and a little side note: Stitcher's no longer in in service as a streaming platform to stream episodes of the podcast, so it's kind of like out of business. So TuneIn Radio, Fountain, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, the #1 app where you can listen to music, radio stations, and podcast shows and episodes for free. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download iHeartRadio. All you need to do is follow the podcast by subscribing on iHeartRadio. You can also do the same with other streaming platforms that I just mentioned. Be sure to follow the podcast and subscribe over there as well. And do the same with YouTube. Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. The entertainment review show Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast is also on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Leave a like and a comment along with the review topics and everything else in between. And like I said, tell me how you feel about the new Star Wars Skeleton Crew series that's on Disney Plus. If I get a chance, I will talk about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man that's coming out on January 31st. I will try to get that set up for tomorrow's episode. All right. And also be sure to add the podcast to your playlist. Tell a friend to another friend. Spread the word. Word of mouth is important. And also you can enable alerts for more video podcast episode live stream recordings, and of course share the podcast with the Linktree links with that says Linktree/Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, people you are cool with from work, and wherever else you meet new people, to listen, stream, yeah. And each new episode is going to be on every streaming platform. Whenever you get to listen, stream, and watch your podcast. All right. That's gonna do it for me, man. I am going to sign off out of here. It's your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator. Thank you very much for listening to episode 134. Remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. It's not going to be given to you on a fucking silver platter. And don't let any douchebag tell you what you not to follow your goals and dreams, but just do it for you, man. Do what makes you happy. And of course, do what you love creatively. Be on your P's and Q's creatively, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. That gets you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. And also, there's no guidebook on following your heart, your goals and dreams, and your journey. And And no matter what, it's not about whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. And and if you plan on starting the podcast like I am right now, be sure to be yourself. Be sure to be yourself behind the microphone while you are recording your episodes and stuff. And don't let anybody discourage you saying not to call it a podcast if you are on YouTube. Because at the end of the day, a podcast is not just about the audio, it's the video that comes with it to put on the digital live stream of the internet. All right. I just want to make that clear, man. Don't let anybody discourage you. Just have fun with your podcast, man. Don't worry about fancy ads and SEOs and all that other shit though. Don't worry about that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed your Christmas, and I hope y'all enjoy your New Year's 2025 and all that great stuff right there. Um, and I hope y'all have some New Year's resolutions. You don't have to talk about it. Just keep it to yourself. And you know what? I'll see y'all in 2025 in January. All right. Peace and one love. Stay liquid, stay safe. And if you plan on watching the ball drop, dress warm, lay up, and be vigilant. All right. I'll see y'all next time in the next and final episode of 2024 of Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, the entertainment review show. All right. I'm out of here. Peace. Good night, everybody.